Good evening, sports fans. Mr. E, welcome. How are you, Mr. E?
I'm doing fantabulous. I'm doing great. I'm doing so well. It should be a price I would pay is insurmountable to how well I feel.
Well, it's great to have you back. I am Darren, the mind of Steel. Here with you tonight. We are finally at week one after a preseason full of just goofy preseason stuff. We're finally back at week one. And how do you feel now in your country where you're from? Do you even celebrate Labor Day, or you just give all your servants a day off, or how did that work?
In my country, what we do is every day is Labor Day. We work hard in my country. Every day is Labor Day. We party like it's 1982.
Oh, well, that would be good. A little Reaganomics and some other stuff comes into
Yes,
play.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. What a notion.
Very,
Everybody
very,
works.
very laborful. Very
That's good.
laborful day.
Well, we're in week one, so what we're gonna do each week, folks, is we're gonna give you our pick six. Mr. E's incredible mind has picked 6 games for us to look into. You can bet the house, the mortgage, maybe the family pet on the picks we're gonna give you, and of course
If you
we'll
don't
play.
like your wife, throw her in first, okay?
Yeah, you can throw in the wife or wives, whatever. If you're, in Utah, West Coast fans, go ahead. And we'll, of course, play our favorite spot on, spot off, and get to that this week. So let's start off with our spot on, spot off, Mr. E.
Sure, please.
Absolutely. So we have some rookie excitement this year. Mac Jones, he's the starting quarterback in New England. Now, they had Cam Newton, and everyone's like, okay, this kid's going to understudy. Boom, Cam Newton shows up one day during cut day last week, and they say, hey, you know what, Cam, we no longer need you. He's cut from the roster. The sports world goes nuts. They're like, what? And he's gone, and now we have Mac Jones starting as their rookie quarterback for New England. And Bill Belichick has a pretty good track record with young, undeveloped quarterbacks, and Mac Jones is coming in with some pretty blue chip collar history there from Alabama, and now he's going to be leading the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins week one, which we'll get to. But spot on or spot off, Mac Jones will have a better rookie year than the highly touted Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, who was the number one overall pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, I think he will have a better year than I think Mac Jones will have a fantabulous year. He will do great things. And it's because of his mentor, Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean, the paperwork's there. Originally fans, Mr. E and I thought about maybe going with Zach Wilson with the Jets when we were laying this out, but with Mac Jones, it's kind of a little bit more celebrity, kind of sexier pick. Uh, Zach, I
Also
was
to
gonna.
the right place at the right time.
Yes, and I was
Stars
all
have
prepared.
aligned.
I was all prepared to go with the long, flowing hair of Trevor Lawrence because, again, the Jacksonville Jaguars don't sleep on that offensive line. All 5 starters are back. Are they the best offensive line in football? No. But to have all 5 starters back, they got a pretty good running game to support him. But it's Bill Belichick with a young mind to mold. I'm going to agree with you, Mr. E. Mac Jones has a better rookie year than Trevor Lawrence.
I agree. I agree. He doesn't make mistakes. That Bill Belichick. He doesn't. Well, unless he gets caught with a video camera. That's the only time he makes mistakes.
Right, or flat footballs, right?
That's right. Only then. That's right.
So as long as Mac Jones understands inflate deflate, we're going to be good.
That's right.
So the other question may have been answered for us today. Spot on. T.J. Watt will play for the Steelers in Week 1 at Buffalo.
Yes, of course he'll play. He's a gamer. He'll play. The Steelers will still sign him before the season. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it's over yet.
Yeah, I had a friend text me today. I think it could be a Cinderella deal, like Saturday at midnight, miraculously. We're going to have it. Everybody in the Pittsburgh area that's kind of following along, although this has really become national NFL knows now all the disagreement or where they're not meeting is at the guaranteed money, which must be nice. Of course, he probably doesn't have the wealth and thousands of cherubs that you have, Mr. E. But still,
Drachmas, shekels. I have it all,
you
but I
do.
don't have the Super Bowl ring.
And well, that's the thing. You would think that maybe T.J. Watt, his agent, would have reached out to you with your thousands and thousands and millions of wealth to understand the value of a dollar, but he obviously did not call you.
Yes.
Uh, you
Bitcoin,
know,
I have Bitcoin, Dogecoin, got it all, but no Super Bowl ring.
Yes. Had TJ Watt not practiced today with the Steelers, I would have agreed, or I wouldn't have agreed with you. But today, his first full time practice of the entire season, preseason, he practiced today. I say he plays on Sunday. Whether he'll be up to full game speed, who knows? But here's a guy, right, for the first 4 years of his NFL career, he has more sacks than Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Kevin Green, and Lawrence Taylor. That's pretty good company, Mr. E, even at one of your fabulous parties. I think he's going to be a great guy and a great addition.
And I understand that that's a different era, different game, really. But that doesn't still mean he doesn't have the talent. I'm not going to say he's a generational talent, but he is up there. He is really, really good. He is a top player in this league right now.
I would agree with that. I think in this league, I think Aaron Donald's still the best defensive player in the league right now to Pitt. But yeah, I agree with you. The guy's probably going to get paid, and he definitely has a right to be paid for what he's done so far.
And that is not saying that T.J. Watt could not be a generational player. It is not written in stone yet where his career goes, and so I think it's possible. I have not done his chart. I have not done his rune stones nor his tea leaves on his career. Maybe I'll do that if I have some free time. But, it's been very crazy here with the computers and the viruses we have. It's all crazy,
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the computers are running fine now, though. So at least we're good.
Yes. We had to get the computers running again. I had to deworm one of the computers. I had to give him one of those dog treats.
Yes. Did it work?
And then once I dewormed it was fine.
Good. So our final spot on or spot off. So Patrick Mahomes is back after the Super Bowl defeat to the Buccaneers. And really, as we talked last week in our predictions, it's a big race between probably the Chiefs and the Bills for the AFC title. Is Patrick Mahomes good enough, or is he in a position, spot on or spot off, is Patrick Mahomes in position unseat Josh Allen as the defending NFL MVP?
Yes, I do think that it's Patrick Mahomes is going to do great things this season. I think he is going to continue on this trajectory of being a Superman, and so I would not bet against Patrick Mahomes no matter what, unless it was Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Just just that
He
one.
could be in the running too. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to be on the other side of that one. Josh Allen's the reigning NFL MVP. He's got a lot around him, a great offensive line. I don't know if the running game is as strong. You got Zach Moss and then kind of a mixed hodgepodge of running backs. So I think it's going to be a close race. It could be if both teams do what everyone's forecasting to be very good, strong teams. Could be one of the more interesting NFL MVP votings that we've had in a decade. But I'm going to give the edge over to Josh Allen to defend that.
I'm going to do a spot on, spot off for you, okay?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to say, now, do you think that Le'Veon Bell being on the practice squad for the Ravens is a precursor to my prediction that the Ravens are going to have that off year this year? It's like it's starting already.
I thought about that when they signed him. I'm like, uh-oh, don't question the great Mr. E. You may be right. The fact that they have now lost their second and third string running back, and I don't think Lev Bell is going to be on the practice squad for too long. I agree. You may be right. The dominoes are in line to fall on the Baltimore Ravens this year.
I did do the Ravens chart, and it does not look good. I'll tell you. This is a high point, picking up Le'Veon Bell, okay? Just want to say, I told you so. All right, already. I get to say that.
Sorry, Baltimore fans. He may be right. He probably is. Well, let's get to our pick six, and that goes right into, speaking of Tom Brady, the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow night kick it off. They go against the Super Bowl champion, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're at Tampa. Tampa's favored by 8.5. Mr. E, let's get your quick thoughts on this. How do you see this game going?
There's one person that likes to run up the score more than Mr. E, and it is Mr. Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He will run up the score on the Dallas Cowboys this week to prove everybody he's over COVID. He does this stuff to get him mentally into the season. You know, he says he had COVID. He's like, oh, I'm not sure. But he does these things to say people are always against me. So I think that the Buccaneers are going to cover at home. The Super Bowl fans go crazy, and you will see naked breasts and a Buccaneers covering the 8.5 at this weekend, this Thursday's game.
So that's 2 boobies and 53 other boobies wearing Cowboys jerseys. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is going to be a rout, and there's other things here too. The Cowboys have 6 guys in the COVID protocol now, or COVID tested positive for COVID, including they lost their best offensive lineman for this game in Zach Martin. Against that Buccaneers defense, it's going to be one of those things where, hey, it's great, the NFL's back, and after the first 2 quarters, I think we're all going to be bored because it's going to be like 31-5 or 31-7, and I think it's a rout as well. Take the Tampa Bay with the 8.5 in a rout over the Dallas Cowboys in this one.
Yes, because I wholeheartedly agree. Mr. E says yes.
Yes. Sorry, yes. Cowboys fans. Well, let's go to that the fan base that's big. Well, really, nothing against Tampa Bay fans. Dallas fan base is amazing. Steelers and Bills, 2 great fan bases. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Pittsburgh over the last 6 games, 5-1 in Buffalo. I can't remember the last time the Bills came to Pittsburgh, but 5-1 against the Bills. Of course, last year that didn't go so well. How do you see this one panning out, Mr. E?
This is a heartbreaker. But this is almost a trap game. I'm going to tell you, this is almost a trap. Not an official trap game. Almost an official almost. The Steelers are going to keep this one close. Okay? But if you got to play the money line on this, I take the Bills, first of all. If you're playing the points, this is tough. This is really tough because the Steelers always perform well in situations like this when nothing is expected of them. They will keep this close, friends. They will keep this close.
Yeah, Bills are favored by 6. I think the Steelers cover that. I think they keep this close too. The offensive line, yeah, we've talked all day about it. But, one thing about that offensive line, they weren't very good last year when they had all those veterans on it. So this year, now they're starting 1 veteran and probably 4 rookies, and who knows? Will they gel in that game? Probably not, but they're going to gel quickly.
And another thing, though, this is what makes me think that this game, Tanch Ilkin, one of the greatest Steelers of all time, one of the best, not players, just people, and he is going to be helping them now from the other side. So I am just saying this could be a surprise game. This could be a surprise game, but I still take the Bills. That's too. But I take them if it was a money line. But I would take the Steelers with the points.
Yeah, and so Mr. E is referring to the great Tunch Ilkin, who actually a close personal friend of mine, who passed away earlier this past week from ALS and complications with pneumonia. A great man, a truly great man. He'll be watching over the Steelers. I do believe that. Again, I will bring that up about the Bills, though. If you're looking at the 4 big supposed breakout teams in the AFC, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Titans, let's take, and the Browns, right? The Browns, very deep, good running team. Chiefs, great running game. The Titans, Derrick Henry, come on. Zach Moss doesn't do it for me. So here, like you said, the Steelers defense is going to be good. People, you're sleeping on Steelers defense. Don't do it. They shut down that run game. It's all going to be on Josh Allen. So, and the defensive backs aren't good. I agree. I think it's a close game. I think it's one of the better games of the week. All right, moving on.
I agree. I think the Steelers are going to surprise the Bills. They're going to they're going to come out hot, but the Steelers are going to be very able to take care of business and keep this one close. So I would take the Bills straight up. That money line scares me. It is almost a trap game.
Yeah, I agree. That moves us right into the Browns and Chiefs, a little more AFC battle, a matchup again from the playoffs last year. You do got to hand it to the NFL. They picked some pretty great games this week 1 matchup. Browns at the Chiefs. Chiefs are -6 on this, so they're the favorite at home. Here's a funny thing too about offensive lines. Patrick Mahomes got knocked around in that Browns game. He got injured. Now, before he got injured in that playoff game, which they did win, he was on pace to throw for 350 yards and was picking apart the Browns. He probably was himself against the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And so Andy Reid decided, well, you know what? I'm just going to go get 5 new offensive linemen, and we're just going to put them in there to protect this guy. And that's what they did. So the Chiefs have 5 new guys on the offensive line, young guys, strong guys to protect Mahomes. The Browns, strong defensively, also brought in a few guys. I think this is another close game, probably considering game of the week type game. But, I'm going to go with Kansas City edging out Cleveland in this one early. Everyone's talking about, Pittsburgh and the Steelers. I think both of them might be 0-1 going into week 2, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs in a close one. Mr. E, what say you?
I think it's going to be close too, but Kansas City, their fans are crazy. They will have a good time. The Chiefs really feed off their fans. So I'm going to split off from you. I'm going to say Kansas City covers the 6, and I would take Kansas City on the money line, or I'd take Kansas City with the points or minus the points.
Okay, and I'll take Cleveland to cover that. But yeah, you're right. And a lot of players, we can say it's one of the toughest places to play in all of football. I agree with you. Okay, that moves us into a little AFC East North battle here. Miami at New England. Don't worry, folks. We are going to get to some. We got to the NFC to begin with. We're going to swing back in the NFC here in a minute. Miami at the Patriots. Now, again, we talked about Mac Jones. 3 weeks ago we thought we were beginning Cam Newton. It's Mac Jones. It's the Mac Jones show. A very young Patriots team that I think's up and coming. Dolphins. We talked about not sleeping, right? I don't think the Dolphins don't sleep in the water. I think they keep moving. Well, that Dolphins defense, number 6 last year, total yards allowed, number 3 in takeaways, differential, number 6 scoring defense. I think that's going to be a tall order for Mac Jones, even though Miami's on the road in New England. New England's -3 in this game. I think Miami covers that spread, and I think they beat the Patriots in a close game here.
Yes, I think that this is a learning and growing game for Mac. I think he is going to see a lot of blitzes for a first-time quarterback. He's going to have to deal with a lot of new things that Miami is going to throw at him, and I think Tua is going to have a good game. So I'm going to go also with the Miami Dolphins, who I did predict will do well this season against New England. This might be their one shot to win in New England this year, because it's not going to be cold yet, and
Right.
and they have got a new quarterback that I think the stars may align for the Dolphins this week. And
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a really excellent point. Usually this first game's in Miami. We're in New England when it should be a nice weather game. I also like the Dolphins in this one, and we talked about that. You really like Tua. You could be a dark horse MVP. If they take this game and they can take one of the 2 from the Bills, Miami's got a legitimate shot at maybe even taking that AFC East. I don't think they will, but they could serve as an upset there. So, all right, well, moving down south to the Atlanta, we have the Battle of the Birds. Eagles versus Falcons. Eagles are at the Falcons. The Falcons are -3. It's a home favorite. This is an interesting game. I think it's going to be high scoring. Both teams, offenses, we're going to see how it goes. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback in Philadelphia. It's his team now. He's the new guy. He's very much like Tua, very athletic, has a strong arm. And then you have the Falcons with, Matt, who's been there, like 22 years now with the Falcons. And he's just, Matt Ryan, I mean, God bless him. We'll see how it goes. He's got a great compliment around him again. But the Falcons have not much of a pass rush. The Eagles don't have much of a pass rush. For teams with birds as mascots, they're rather grounded, Mr. E. What do you think?
This is a classic NFC. We're going to throw the ball all over the place. This would always be the one that Brent Musburger would go crazy on back in the 1980s, So I think that in this game, I do think that the Falcons are going to cover this, the 3 points, the traditional 3 points -3 they give to the home team when they're not sure what the heck's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think that I think the Falcons are going to cover this, and the Eagles are going to are just not going to be able to win this one. It's just going to start this season off poorly. For one of these teams, it's going to be a loss that they will be like, "What? We lost this game?" So I think I'm going to just go with the home team on this and covering this game at 3 points. I think it's going to be a crazy game. It could be like 42-31, something like that. It's going to take the over on the money on the total points.
Yeah, Eagles will have a healthy Miles Sanders and a revamped offensive line there a little bit. At least, more veteran than last year. It was a very young offensive line. So, again, I agree. It's going to be interesting. You and I both agreed Eagles are probably in the mix for top 5 in the NFL draft 2022. So we don't think they're going to be that great, but the Falcons are probably not going to be much better than 500 this year. We both agreed on that last week as well. So even though it's two teams that you probably aren't going to be watching in December, January in the playoffs, should be entertaining for a high-scoring game.
Yes,
last game.
Yes, good game.
Yeah, last game, Seattle-Indy. This one's interesting. These are two teams from two divisions. We said really, that AFC South, it's probably between Indianapolis and Tennessee. You and I could probably name 12 players on Tennessee, and we could probably name 3 players on Indianapolis. And Seattle's in that NFC West where they can do anything. That NFC West is anybody's division. It starts right here. You got to wonder which defense Seattle's going to have show up. First 8 games last year, they gave up 30 points a game. The last 8 games, they only gave up 16. Probably arguably the best defense or one of the best defenses in the entire NFL the last half of last year. They go to Indianapolis on the road. Good offensive line. But it's Carson Wentz, and I'm not sure how well he's going to gel just yet. I'm not buying the Carson Wentz thing. Seattle's -2.5 on this. I think Seattle covers in Indianapolis.
I think so too. This is a game that these teams don't play very often. They don't have much history to get against each other. I just think that the Colts are going to have a game here at home that it just plays right into Seattle's game. It's a dome game. So I think Seattle's going to be able to do what they normally do with this game. That's why they're even favored on the road. I think I would take Seattle -2.5. I think that they're going to come out. They need to pick up wins. They're in a tough division. So they're not going to take this game lightly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there are people saying that, they brought in a new offensive coordinator. He's more pass happy. Pete Carroll likes to run the ball with Chris Carson there. I'm with the offensive coordinator. Let Russell Wilson go. Let him do what he's capable of. And I think the Eagles have a better chance at winning that division. But, go back to the Super Bowl when they lost to the Patriots. What do? They hand the ball off when a lot of people thought he should have thrown the ball in that situation, and it cost them the game. And in the Super Bowl, where arguably they were the better team in that Super Bowl, but the Patriots, came up and found a way to win, which is what the Patriots do. I'm with you on this one too. Colts have the longest Week 1 losing streak in the NFL. They're 0-7 going back to 2014. Make that 0-8, and I think Seattle takes this game.
Yes, I agree. Mr. E agrees.
Yes, okay. Mr. E, any final parting shots before you take off on your flying carpet to parts unknown?
No, I have no final shots or partings. I have nothing but good wishes to everybody. Make your picks. Be careful. Don't be too eager to trust the man with the wooden stick. Just remember that.
That's right, and always make sure when you get out your chips that if you check the salsa, make sure you didn't buy the hot if you can't stand it. If you like the heat, get the hot. Enjoy the snacks. I'm the mind of steel, Darren Steele, and he is Mr. E. We will see you back here next week.